All right, ladies and gentlemen and graphic designers, here we're going to finish up Photoshop Lesson 4. We're going to do Section 3 and finish this thing up. All right, we're going to select the caret with the Quick Selection tool. Oh, actually, let's go back. Let's look at some stuff. All right, write this down, how this thing works. And now we're going to zoom in on the caret again. All right, so we've already got the caret, but I want to show you another tool. So let's go down to right here. We go to the background, and so the Quick Selection tool works very similar to the Magic Wand tool, but you just click and drag. Oh, that was fast. Let's try that again. Let's go select, deselect. So you just click on something, and normally it takes a little more effort. Normally you have to like kind of click and go. At any rate, so you normally kind of click and just keep dragging until you get the whole thing. At any rate, let's try it again. Select, deselect. All right, so Quick Selection tool, and click, click. Okay, it gets the whole thing. All right, so then the same thing. We're going to go Layer, New, via Copy. We're going to call this the Quick Selection tool, so I know that you use the Quick Selection tool to get it. All right, and then we're going to Control click to select it again, double click on the hand. We're going to move it over here. We're going to press Control T to transform it, and we're going to rotate this thing as well. If I can get it to rotate. No? There we go. Get it to rotate with this caret, and there we go. Just like that will be just fine. All right, let's go back to the spiel and see what it says. Okay, let's talk about erasing pixels. So we could use, anyway, we can erase pixels. Normally you don't want to be super destructive. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to try to erase pixels. Now watch what's going to happen. If I go to the eraser, I can't erase anything because I have that selected. So what we're going to do is we're going to go like this. We're going to go to the marquee tool, and we're going to select all of our good stuff, and then I'm going to go select inverse. So I'm going to select everything but that, and then we can go to the eraser tool, and where is it? There it is. And so we can go around and we can erase pixels. Now it shows, why does it show white? I guess I have it set up to show white. Anyway, so we can erase all the pixels, and I can't erase any of my good stuff. I can make the size larger. Anyway, so I can go through now. Anyway, so the destruction I'm doing is permanent. So, oh, by the way, I did want to show this. Go Control Z. I should have mentioned this. So whenever you're erasing, it is sometimes handy to make the eraser tool fuzzy. So I just want you to see how it erases. So see how it's kind of fuzzing into it. Sometimes it's nice to be able to fuzz stuff out. So having a soft eraser is nice. Anyway, so we're going to get rid of these pixels. I did permanent damage there, so you have to be careful when you do that. All right, so we're going to create a drop shadow and then crop the image. So what we're going to do is we're going to go select, deselect. So we're going to go to this quick select. So let's see what that is. That's the caret right there. And so on the caret, we're going to go to the effects, and we're going to do a drop shadow. Let's zoom in on the caret though. Oh, I can't. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the distance I want, so you can see what's happening to the caret. So I'm going to set up the distance that I want the shadow to be, the spread, the size, and then over here is the opacity. It's like super dark or super faint. So we're going to do it kind of nice like that. So you get it how we want. You click OK. And then the nice thing is here's the effect. You can turn it on and off. I'm going to grab my layers panel, and I'm going to make it bigger. Okay, and so what you could do is if you press Alt and you drag this effect, it'll copy it, and we're going to copy it to all the. We can drag it to all these other. You can drag it to all these other layers as well. So we click. If I hit Alt, it should copy it. So we're going to take it to all these other layers, and it should I'm not sure why this one was going one way. They should all be the same. I have no idea. It shouldn't. They all should have the exact same effect. I'm not sure what happened, but I'm not gonna figure it out right now. Anyway, so the idea is that they're all gonna have the same effect. So anyway, you go ahead and do that and get the drop shadow on all of these things, and then I'm gonna hit pause and get this all done. Okay, so now we're going to crop the image to include just the advertisement, none of the extra stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the crop tool, and we can specify how big we want this thing to be for our magazine. So if we had a specific numbers of inches, and I can hit the space bar to move it, and I'm going to go like that, and then I'm going to hit enter to apply that crop. And so there we have it. We have all of our stuff, and we can turn these things on and off. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh yeah, file types, part 2. This is a big deal. All right, you should work on your image as a Photoshop document. Why? Okay, so look. So see all this stuff, all these layers and all that stuff, that's part of our Photoshop document, right? So this is called, oh, it's untitled. Okay, so this is our, I should have saved this. So this is our document. Let me save it. File, save as. So we're going to save it in the computer. We're going to save it in our folder with our name on it. We're going to save it in Creative Computer. We're going to save it in a folder called Raster Design Photoshop Book Lessons, and it should be called lesson4.psd. Okay. All right. So, at any rate, all these layers need to be saved, right? And we don't want to lose all that stuff until the end. So, like when we're ready to print or we're ready to send it to somebody, then we may not need all this layer information anymore. But while we're working on it, we definitely do. Okay, when you're sending the picture to your mom or putting it on the internet or the web, it's not a Photoshop document is not the best file format. And why? Write that in your notes. And the answer is she probably doesn't have Photoshop. So if you send her a Photoshop document, she won't be able to open it up. So you have to save it at a different format. And we're going to talk about all those. Write this down. A JPEG is popular because it compresses well. So you can take this big old Photoshop document, you can make it small. It'll load fast on the internet. Other people can open it quickly. It won't fill up their hard drive fast. But one of the bad sides of it, it's a lossy format, which means it loses information. So it loses all the layers. It loses quality as well. So when you save something as a JPEG, you can choose higher or lower quality based on what you need. If you're going to save something for the web, 72 ppi is good because that is as high a quality as your monitor can project anyways. And so when you're going to save something for a web page, you want the web page to load as fast as possible. Okay, so we learned about that. A GIF is popular because you can animate it. So if you ever see a picture on the internet that moves, that's an animated GIF. A GIF is also lossy. It loses information, loses quality. Another good file to save it as is a PNG. These are nice because they have transparency, so instead of the background being white, you can have it being see-through, which is nice a lot of times. These are lossy. These lose information as well. So let's keep going. All right, RGB is good for when you're going to save something for the monitor. CMYK is the technology that the printers use. If you look at the ink cartridges in the printer, you have cyan, magenta, yellow, and black cartridges. So whenever you're going to save a document that you're going to print, use a CMYK format. All right, and finally, I don't know if it's final or not, but there's a file format called a TIFF, and that is a really big file, but the quality is really good. It's a lossless format. You lose no information as far as the quality, so it doesn't compress it at all. It's just full-on quality, but it's a big thing. So, for example, if you were going to have, like, you had like a really good photo and you wanted a poster made out of it, and you had to send it to somebody, a TIFF could be a good format for that because you don't lose any quality. Then there's also a file format called a PDF. This is nice because everybody can open a PDF, and then when you're making a PDF, you have some options to protect stuff. So you can save it to where the PDF people can't copy and paste stuff from the PDF, and so on and so forth. So if you're an artist and you're sending some of your artwork to somebody, but they haven't paid yet, but you want them to check out, like, hey, am I on track? Is this kind of what you want me to do? What changes do you want me to make? You could save it as a PDF and send it to them, and it could be protected. And the other good thing, again, about a PDF is everybody has a PDF reader, so they can definitely open it. Okay, so now we're going to save our Photoshop document for the web for 4-color printing. We're going to send it to a client. You're going to save the image with the best possible resolution. Okay, so let's save it for the web. All right, so here's what we do. We're going to go File, Save for Web and Devices, and we're going to save it in one of the compressible formats. So the ones that compress a PNG, a GIF does, a JPEG does, or a PNG does. Let's save it as a JPEG. That's pretty pretty popular. And so we're going to save it as in medium quality. You can adjust the quality here if you want, and we're going to save it. So we're going to save it in our folder with our name on it. We're going to save it in Creative Computers. We're going to save it in Raster Design Photoshop, Photoshop Book Lessons, and we're going to call this lesson4.jpg. Okay? That would be something that we could put on the internet and it would load pretty fast. Now, the next one was we wanted to save it for 4-color printing. Well, we've already done that. If we were going to send it to a printer, the printer probably would have Photoshop. So we're going to go File, Save As, and we're going to save it as a Photoshop document. And we already set it up to where it was CMYK and so on and so forth. So we already set it up as, let's go image, image size. So we already set it up with a resolution of 300. So we already did it. Okay, so let's look at the next one. So save the image for sending to a client that you don't trust. Well, you don't want to, if they haven't paid, you don't want to give them the image. So you'd probably save it as a PDF so they could review it or whatever. So we go File. And if you're a professional, you're going to learn some more about this stuff. But we're going to go Save As, and we're going to save it as a, where's PDF? PDF, Photoshop PDF. So save it like that. And then finally, save the image with the best possible resolution. Well, we want to save it as a lossless format where it doesn't lose any quality. So we're going to go File, Save As, and we're going to save it as a TIFF. It's a big old file, but it has very good quality, and we're going to save that. Okay, I think that's it. All right, we are finally done with